Welcome to Digital Softex. In this session, we explain you about software requirements engineering. So, software requirements engineering is really very important process, very important concept in software engineering. So, let's move on and start our tutorial related to software requirements engineering. So, today's agenda: what is software requirements engineering, or what is software requirements, and types of software requirements. Software requirements is really very important concept of software engineering because software are made based on the requirements. So requirements are nothing but the user needs, are a necessary functionality needed by the system, or you can say that software requirements is the backbone of software engineering. So based on these requirements, the user needs, we make systems. So let's understand a simple example related to software requirements to understand this thing. So for example, software for we want to make a software for office management system. So so a person came to software company that I need a software for my office. So developer, okay, kindly tell me what are your needs. So client, okay, my needs are the following. So I need a system which add all employees to the system, which register my projects, track out all the day-to-day operations, and manage employees' salaries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, these are called requirements. You can say these are called user needs. So software requirements are just the functionality needed by the user and are the functionality expected by the user from the system. So these three fours are the requirements. We call them requirements because the user want that the system will perform these actions. So basically this is called requirements. So hope you understand about what are the requirements. So let's move the formal definition of software requirements. So what is software requirements are in software engineering it called software requirements engineering. So software requirement is a field within software engineering that deals with establishing the needs of the stakeholder or you can say users that are to be solved by the software. So software requirements are the user needs which are solved by the software company or software making organization. So requirements are nothing but the user needs. So the software are made to fulfill the user needs. So software are the user needs. Software requirements are the user needs. So when they came to software company, they deliver this needs to the users to the software company, and the developer will track out all and manage these functionality and adding these functionality and solve the user problem and deliver to the user, and we call them software. So in this software engineering session we explain all the concepts of software engineering, that what are the concepts, what are that mean, and how to collect these kinds of things. So that is why we trying to resolve these things and make the thing easily delivered to you. So software requirements are nothing but the user needs. So software requirements, the software requirements are the description of the features and functionality of the target system, as we have discussed. So requirements convey the expectation of the user from the software product. When a client came to a software company, they delivered their needs, that I need a system which can perform these kind of functionality. So the software company will try to deliver the system which delivers the functionality or the perform the actions expected by the user from the system. So we call them a good or quality software. Software requirements are stored in documents termed as software document. So we document these requirements and deliver to the developer team. So different kinds of teams are involved for software development. So we will give you a brief introduction related to these concepts about the team involvement, about the software documentation. So when all these requirements are collected, we document them, and we save these things with the product, because the user may claim that I do not accept this thing. So we will hand over that you have delivers us these requirements and we have fulfill your needs. So it's a second concepts. So we are just talking about software requirements engineering. So let's move towards the types. Hope you understand about the software requirements. Software requirements are nothing but the user needs. So types of software requirements, we have a business requirements, BR, market requirements. So the important requirements in software engineering are functional requirements and non-functional requirements. But we will deliver you about the information related to business requirements and market requirements. So let's move on. So business requirements are just the business need, the requirements of a user from the business perspective, such as we want a client registration system, we want a sales system, we want that the system check out all our projects. So these are just the business needs. So business requirement is a phase in software development lifecycle which facilitate the requirements of the end users as their very first task to order the guide the design of the future system. So it's all about the business requirements. So business requirements are the requirements which are important related for a business to improve the functionality of business and check out all the perspectives of a business. So business requirement are usually captured by business analysts. So business analyst is a person who collect these requirements related to the business because they have idea about the requirements that they are important or not related to the business, or product owner who analyze the business activities who turn act as subject matter expertise, as SMEs. So business requirement are the requirements which the user provide to the software company, that these are my requirements related to the business requirements, are related to the business. So example of business requirement, hope you will betterly understand with the help of example. So the business requirement are the following. So we need a sales system which track out all the expenses of the business. We need a registration system for registering employees. Our business need a project registration system in which we registering new projects. Our business need ongoing project progress bar. So all these are requirements from the perspective of business. So we call them business requirements. So we have market requirements. Market requirements are nothing but they are just being the user expectations from the system, such as what's going on in the market. So which thing are important for my business. So it's all about the project management concepts. So in business, in market requirements, we just collect the requirements related to the product, that what thing is going, what thing is important for this business, what thing is important for the user, because he gave a heavy amount related to the software, and that is why we take the requirements related to the market. So what's going on, what's going trending, what's the competitor follow, so what the customer want, what are the customer demands in the market. So we track out all the requirements from from the user, from the perspectives of market requirements. So let's move on to functional requirements. Very important, we should focus upon functional and non-functional requirements. So in software engineering, a functional requirement define the system or its component. It describes the functions a software must perform. So a function is nothing but inputs, its behavior, its output. Functional requirements help you to capture intent behavior of the system. So functional requirements is really very important. Functional requirements are the main user needs. So when the user came, they delivers us the information that I want these kind of functionality in my system, and I expected these things, so we call them functional requirements. So it must be managed, must be provided, must be fulfilled by the software company. So example, for example, we are making software for calculator. We have that the user want that it add the things, multiply and subtract the things, or the digits or the numbers, whatever the things. So these three are functional requirement. At any cost we will provide, we will cover these requirements, so we call them functional requirements. Hope you understand. It delivers us the what kind of inputs the system will accept its behavior, its output. So functional requirement are user main needs, so we should deliver us these functional these in requirements, and we should fill out these things. So functional requirements are nothing but the user needs, and we should provide these things, because if you want to betterly delivers the products, so we should focus upon the functional requirements. So non-functional, these are also very important. NFR specify the quality attributes of software system. They judge the software system based on the responsiveness, usability, security, portability, and other non-functional standards. So non-functional requirements are not the user needs, but the software company should focus upon these non-functional requirements, because if a software is not responsive, if it is hardly to be usable, if security is not assured, if portability is not assured, because portability is the changing system from one environment to another. So these are really very important attributes, and the user may cannot accept these may cannot expect these things from you, but software company should focus upon these, because it betterly affect the quality of software. So non-functional, the usability, the security, the portability, and other non-functional attributes are really very important. We call them non-functional requirements. So for example, we have a bank management system, so we should focus upon the security. So we look after these things, and may the user expect these things from us, but as a software company, as a developer, I should focus upon these things, that the software should be usable, easily manageable, easily responsiveness. So we should provide the responsiveness, and the software is quality assured related to the software security. Software is secure because millions of billions of rupees are managed by the software system, so it should be secure, because any malicious user or hackers could not reach the confidential data or money of the people have um, put in the bank. So example of non-functional requirements: how fast does the website load? So when we click on this website and the website doesn't open, so its non-functional requirement are not managed. So how fast they load, how the working, how the usability, responsiveness, security, all these things are non-functional requirement. So we have barely explained the software requirements. Software requirements. So agenda, what is software requirements engineering? We have explained you about the software requirements. Software requirements are nothing but the user needs. So we have functional and non-functional requirements, which are really very important. Functional requirements are the user needs, and the user may expect these things um, up to 70-80% that the system will perform these actions. And non-functional requirement, so the